want to talk to you about is putting, and more specifically distance control or speed within our putts. So as well, you know, it's a key component of not three putting. If you can get the distance right, you're well on the way. But also in terms of actually making a putt. So the read that we come up with for a particular putt, it's going to be based on our perceived speed or distance that we hit the ball. So if you hit it hard, it's not going to break as much. If you hit it soft, there's probably more break there. So we need speed control on all our putts. It's a key component of our putting. And I see far too many people, and they are trying to dictate the speed that the putter travels at. And there's a lot of jabbing at putts and stabbing at putts. It makes it very, very difficult to get consistent speed. So what I look for with my players is that the length of the stroke will dictate how far the putt goes. And what I'm looking for is, as they start the downswing into the ball, there's a consistent acceleration rate. So I don't like to see that they start down and then accelerate into the back of the ball, or they're fast and then slow down as they get to the ball. I'm looking for a consistent acceleration as they go through it. Now, from my experience, the easiest way to relate this back to a player is, if you consider the pendulum on a grandfather clock. For the young people out there, it's a very old style clock, and if you ask your parents about it, they'll be able to tell you. But for the rest of us, the pendulum on a grandfather clock. So if you take it, that as it ticks back and forwards, the speed is quite consistent, and also the length of the movement is quite consistent. So what I'm looking for is that type of consistent speed, consistent acceleration into the ball. Now, the easiest way to see it is if you hold your putter between two fingers, tilt the shaft back, let it go, gravity will pull the head of the club down, and it will create a gradual acceleration down into the ball. And that's what we're going to try and mimic. We're going to try and mimic that type of acceleration. So when I see a player hitting, you know, a 3-4 foot putt, sort of this length, I always think to myself, well, if it was a pendulum, how long would the backstroke have to be? What type of acceleration would exist into the ball? And can I try and mimic that? Now, simply because I'm holding the putter, I'm going to add a little bit of speed, but generally speaking, that's what I'm looking for. So when I go to hit the putt, I try to mimic that. If I'm going to hit a longer putt, so if I take it that I've got, you know, a 10-foot putt here, again, I'm going to look, and it's a longer pendulum stroke, which allows the club head to accelerate. It accelerates at the same rate, but because it has more time, by the time it reaches the ball, it's traveling faster. So as it comes in, there's a bit more pace on it, and again, that's what I'm trying to mimic in my putting. That same gradual acceleration, similar to when gravity pulls the head of the club down. It's always going to be a little bit quicker. That's just the way life is. When we're holding the club, we'll always apply a certain amount of speed. But in terms of giving me a view of the stroke length that I need, the gradual acceleration that I need, the timing and tempo of the swing, I find there's nothing better than simply looking at the club face as though it's the pendulum on a grandfather clock, and seeing, does the speed that this club reaches impact, does that speed give me a sense of how fast I then need to swing, how long my stroke needs to be. So one more time, simple thought, 10-foot putt here. That appears to be about correct to me. And then when I take my putting stroke, I'm looking to replicate that same stroke length that same tempo, that same gradual acceleration into the ball. I hope this has been of interest to you, and I hope you're enjoying all the videos that are up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you again real soon, guys. Take care now.